Is that what we're doing? Glitchless, no exploit, no save and quit. There we go. And we're off. So I got some new routing that I'm going to do today. I'm going to go to Altus Plateau way early, and I am also going to be killing Radon instead of Renala. And we're going to see how much time I can save myself. Not having to go through the academy. I do hope you feel better, Kara. Being a musician, and I didn't even use my voice as a musician, I was a bass player. I still absolutely hated getting sick when I had to perform. See, now this is where already there would have been like 2 save and quits. Yeah, the Academy has a lot of winding, because you also have to remember the Academy is multifaceted in that you have to get the glintstone key to get inside. Then you have to work your way up, waiting on multiple elevators. 1 second.
And I can also let you know that wine I am caught.
We're going to purchase this now.
Goodbye.
Now we go get Torrent. You have to get the glintstone key. You have to get into the academy, multiple elevators, a fight with Red Wolf of Radigan, a fight with Renala, and then Red Wolf of Radigan is a wily bastard that loves to run away. Renala in the second phase loves to run away, teleport, and summon backup. So it's like if I can get in... Radon and get Radon's kill relatively quickly, it could be a time save over doing the academy. Luckily, I haven't had to do it, Kara, but I think I would even have difficulty streaming sick because it'd be difficult for me to have that enthusiasm that I try to have in most instances. And I know as a performer, you try to embody the piece of music that you're currently working on. Or trying to, you know, perform. And when you're just ill and funky, it just doesn't work. It's hard to get into that mindset. I'm a bit hyped for the new PS5 update with all that new customization stuff. What's the new PS5 update? I haven't even heard about the new PS5 update. They changed up the dashboard last night.
Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant to the true order and celebrated repudiator of the false.
Make your own background images. That's kind of cool. I always wanted to know why they wouldn't let you do that to begin with, because like PC's been letting you make your own wallpaper for years. Yeah, I was on last night, but I must have gotten off before the update happened. I was on for a short little while. I played like 2 rounds of Rainbow Six Siege last night. Well, Tiger was saying he saw it and got confused, so... Yeah, it's still nice that they give you something. Okay, my routing isn't the best right now, but it's good enough. I also figured out the jump down strat for up here. And it is legit. It's not an exploit. But I want a sacred tier. Yeah, there was a cool theme that they had for PlayStation 4 where it was for Dark Souls 3. It was the limited edition theme where it's animated and it's literally just a knight walking through all the areas of Dark Souls 3. And it is like the coolest background ever. Yeah, I've seen Anatria. It looks interesting, but it does look really clunky and cheap. I agree with you. Okay, after EG, I have to do kind of tight castle. Yeah, I think we all kind of interestingly agree on that one, Dark. It looks interesting. Anatria, the last song, it's like an Italian Souls-like based on like Italian lore and historical mythos. I think it looks kind of clunky, a little janky. It was originally supposed to come out back like 3 months ago, but it was scheduled to have the same. Then Shadow of the Erd Tree announced the release date, and it was the same day. And the Anatria developers were like, "Yeah, we're not going head to head with Shadow of the Erd Tree," so they changed the release date, which was a smart move. Not a knock against Anatria, just any game. If you were any video game, did you want to go head to head with Shadow of the Erd Tree? I don't think you did. I would agree with you, Dark, because Farm Tycoon has no overlap with Souls-likes. So I would consider it a non-competitor. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of a tried and true Souls-like. And I don't know, from what I saw, I don't feel like it did enough to innovate on the formula to warrant it. I do think there are good Souls-likes out there, but they have to kind of innovate on the formula.
figure to determine if you had. It seems torrent, whereas I may. There is, but I can take gathering.
Okay, we'll get round table hole out of the way now. Or not. Okay, so we're gonna go here. I was mashing the button to get the, I don't know. Okay. Not what I wanted. So it's kind of a waste of a deviation. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree, Dark. From what I've seen of Liza P and what I've played from the demo, yeah, it definitely does enough to iterate on the formula to kind of make it stand on its own 2 feet. I forgot the book. Dude said it's a cheap copy of Bloodborne and Sekiro. It's got a little bit of the Bloodborne visual flair, but it's different. A little bit of the Sekiro parry system, but it's actually different. Okay. But it does enough different in both of them that it has a really different play style, and it has the polish. That's what a lot of people in the Souls-like development scene don't really get, is they think that it's like you create a hard game with like a esoteric atmosphere, lore that's difficult to kind of ascertain, and they think that's what makes a Souls-like a Souls-like, and it's not. There's a lot more moving parts to a Souls-like than that. And one of the things is polish. Okay, so now we're going to be going to Altus Plateau. Back in a few minutes. Cool. I can kind of see that, Dark, with comparisons, but I don't know. Gameplay wise, it definitely kind of felt like its own beast when I was playing it. I don't mind if they do, Dark. I don't mind if they do. I should. It's on my Steam wish list. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale. Because they're still asking like $60 for it. And occasionally it'll show up for like $15, $20 on a Steam sale. So I'm just waiting for it to show up on a Steam sale again. And it says like on the tracker I have, it says it's like about every 6 months it goes on sale. And if you do have a disc copy for PS5, I'm more than willing to play it. Yeah, Lies of Peak, then $60 for Wugon. Nice one, Dark Souls. I like the little bit of wordplay you did there. I can tell your English is improving. Okay, so I've already kind of made a mild routing error in my head, but it's fine. We'll fix that the next time we do this. I have to agree, Dark Souls. Like that's a good quote. Rather $60 for Liza Peak than $60 for Wukong. That one's gonna sit with me for a while. Okay, so that's a big time loss. But we can go this way. Backup strats. I'm not feeling too bad about that time loss, though. It could have been worse. Could have been much worse. Not that much of a time loss. Yeah, it's not a glitch. I agree it's not a glitch, but I do think it's an exploit. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain things that I think are verging on exploits. Such as exploiting the Statue of America, the Stake of America, to get into the Radon boss fight, I think is an exploit. And then exploiting gravity and that ledge and the AI with the Draconic Tree Sentinel, I think is another exploit. That's just my personal opinion. I think the gravity cheese is a little bit of an exploit. Yeah, no, I do hear ya, Moto. I don't need that. I'll need this for later. Or no, I won't. I won't because I won't be doing the cheese jump. What? But it's a good thing I grabbed it then. Okay, we're not going to go out the front door then. Now that we know that we're one-shottable. I don't want to get invaded by Millicent. So I'm kind of rotating around this way. Because we are not going to be using the jump to get to Radon. We're going to be going the legit way. After this, we go kill Grail. Come on. Okay, and here we are. Get an aggro wash. None of the Dark Souls games have a PS5 upgrade, right? Just some 60 FPS updates for PS5, but still Yep. Dark. PS3 Dark Souls 3 runs really good on PlayStation 5. Other games not so much. They just run like they do on PS4. Okay, we're about halfway through. Yeah, From Software doesn't go back and really update their games all that much. I think they kind of like releasing them and then just moving on to the next project, which I kind of like. Good time for an ad break. Okay, one more bleed. Almost. Okay. So we're going to level up. We need... That should be enough. Okay. First step. Now we go get the sword. Dude, he's got me stamina burned. And there we go. Now we have Bloodhound Fang. Now we go to easy. Thank you, Moto. Now we're kind of moving. Okay, so then we come here.
I presume. I am an old soul, perhaps.
We are going to purchase 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Strength armament. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and we're short. We're short, so give me a second. What's this plateau? I didn't see will we complete it in under 240. I think we're looking pretty good. Demi-human Gilka dead. Thank you, Moto, for the other bad dude.
Well, then I presume.
Okay, so we got that back up and running. Equipment. Do that. Okay, so now comes the crazy part. We're gonna go for Radon. And I'm gonna go to the restroom super fast. And I'm back. Wrong way.
Blythe. Now, the way ahead is...
Champions! Welcome! The stars have aligned! The festival is... Are you good in the festival?
But now, we must...
Oh, the cell! You general were divested and howling.
There we go. Shit, I didn't do my physics, but that's fine. Okay, so this is where... Ooh. Ah, just out of reach. There we go. There we go. We're done. Yeah, it just helps speed things up, Chabello. This is the speed run after all.
I see it now. Humans all lose their lives eventually. How could this?
And we got the warrior jar shard. Now it's Margit. It took me 20, dude. It didn't take me no 20 minutes to summon everybody. Even Distortion 2 summons everybody for that fight. I think even Forza did.
Smoldering with thy meager flame, cower in fear of the night, the hands of the fell omen. It's tight. God, you breached. Well, but of course. The gate!
Oh. What? Okay, so that didn't work out as planned. Oh man, a lot of people predicted no. I'm going to get these 2 cracked pots. Now we're off to Draconic Tree Sentinel. Probably could have gone to the round table hold. Get my other talisman slot. Shit, kind of screwed that up. Are you? Okay. It's kind of really being annoying today. He's being really annoying today. Nintendo Switch, CAD, ABC Spec League, if anyone is interested. Interesting. Interesting, Moto. I'll have to look at that in a bit. Goofed up the intro and I didn't quite recover. Are oh my goodness. Why is he giving me so much trouble? You know what? We might do it. We might do it. But I don't want to. We're going to fight him straight up. So far, I haven't really done anything too cheesy, so we're going to fight him straight up. I probably should have just done the follow-up. Whoop, I rolled backwards into it. Okay, that's it. We're going light roll. I didn't cheese Radon. I didn't cheese Radon. Oh, I didn't drink the physic. I'm like, why don't I have enough stamina for the other R2? I didn't drink the physic. No, I'm going to pull it together. I'm still ahead of schedule, Chabello. I went early. Are you gonna stop breathing fire and? Dude, he's just not being cooperative. There we go. Yeah, naked is the way it's got to be.
Very that
Yep.
hand.
His posture is a little weird. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Now we go get.
Holy fire. You have now to become the thing as much. Now become.
Okay. So now we go get our 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we boss rush to the end. Okay. Ooh, that was early. Just some backup strats in case I die trying to get this 7. There we go. Then we reset. And then we go get the 8 and the 9. And then we're off to the races. Go back up for the 8. Now we're off to Godfrey. No.
For bringing here, and thus I shall farewell. I shall leave. I wish you luck. You have. I have no.
I gotta remember these things so I don't instigate those. Oh, that was close. Come away from the door, please. Yeah, get nice and out in the open, please. I need to stop worrying about getting full health for damage and just kill this guy. I should have came back in with the follow-up, but I wanted the riposte. Now we're on to Morgott. He gave me a bit of a problem last time. We'll see how it goes this time. Yeah, restock. They use some blue on the Black Knife Assassin. Oh, come on.
Thy part in this shall not be forgiven.
Well, Morgoth was a lot easier this time. Thank you, Keeler. I took him with a bit more focus. Yeah, exactly. Not today. Not today. I took him with a bit more focus this time.
Hello. Allow me. You are unable prevented. The thorns are husk. The only way and become my purpose. So I'd like you to the flame then and guide you. Shall I let my share them with me? Your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow.
Thank you, Mark Lark. How are you doing today? How's everybody doing today? Got a little caught up on Draconic Tree Sentinel, but we slipped past and we're kind of making some good time. Made a few routing mistakes, but I did a new route today. And I don't know if the routing is going to save us some time or lose us some time. But it could be one of those where overall it's a time save, but today it's a loss because it's a new route and I didn't quite do it as optimal as I could. I think I did a pretty optimal route though, but I did get hung up on Draconic Tree Sentinel for, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Moto. I didn't jump on the elevator pillar. I forgot all about that. Jumping on the elevator pillar to get off sooner. I need to remember these things and save up these little seconds here and there. Yeah, exactly. You're right, Moto. Because you're right. It's like if I can do those little things, I probably should. I just won't do the whole save and quitting incessantly and all that nonsense. Or jumping into Radahn's arena, or which I did test last night. I figured out how to do. I did all the exploits. I figured them all out last night. I figured out the chest opening exploit. I figured out the jump into Radahn's arena exploit. I figured out the gravity exploit for Draconic Tree Sentinel. Yeah, the save and quit's just... even that, I started working on muscle memory for the save and quit. I'm like, I know I can do this. I just have to, like, program it in my head to do it real quick. It's not that difficult, but I just don't feel like doing it every time I open a door. Every time I open a chest. Every time I kill a boss. Every time I touch a grace. Like, every time, like, I'd interact with this elevator, save and quit. Interact with it, save and quit. It just, no, I'm not. I'm not interested in doing all of that. And I love the skybox and Mountaintop of the Giants and how it's like you're above the clouds. You have ascended above the clouds. Ooh, the audio's doing some weird stuff. And the Draconic Tree Sentinel cheese, surprisingly, if you can parry, not that difficult at all. Surprisingly easy. I got it first try, and then I was like, that's gotta be a fluke. And then I got it second try, and then I was like, well, I know that's a fluke. And then I got it three tries in a row. I'm like, all right, I know how to do this. I was surprised it was as easy as it was to get him to fall off. I think that's why so many people put it in the run. Is it's like, it's just really easy to do. If you can, you just got to manage a single parry. That's all you got to do. And you can knock him off the ledge. I'm not going to get enough golden seeds, so why waste the time? Yeah, yeah. Well, I went way out of the way, but we're good. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's cheese. What I would say is like, do you think the developers intended that a boss with a health bar on the bottom of the screen can be baited to a very specific location of the map where his AI goes near the ledge, unlike everywhere else on the map? And then you can bait him into doing a melee attack that you can parry. And then after parrying him, the attack gets the horse to walk in animation and you get the horse to walk off the ledge. I don't know. It just feels really like if you built the game, if you sat down and you were making a video game, would that like I don't know. For me, it's like Occam's razor. It's an accident, and it's easier for the developers to just leave it in the game than spend the time fixing it. That I actually kind of disagree with, Moto. I think the developers are very well aware of the routing of their games, considering that there's 165 bosses in this game, but you only have to kill 12 to beat it. I think they are well aware that these games can be beaten in extremely fast times. But I get your point. I do get your point. Okay, we're gonna get the last sacred tier of the run. And then it's Fire Giant. I think they are well aware, Moto. It's kind of a thing that's been going on in all of their games, is all of their games are famous for having huge chunks of them that are optional. The Great Hollow and Ash Lake are one of the first examples in Dark Souls, where those two areas, which include quests for main characters and NPCs in the game, is hidden behind like 3 illusory walls and like way off in the corner of the map that nobody explores. Dark Souls, like all of them do. Granted, maybe not to the extent that Elden Ring does, but they all have huge chunks of their content that are not required. 1 second, I'll be right back. I think there is the intention though that they know that speed running is a huge part of their game's community. So I think they do take it into consideration when building the game. Is it their like priority? No, I definitely agree with you. It's not their priority. If you want to get into intention as well, it's also the developers also developed the game knowing that we use wikis. So, in a weird way, you could probably argue that wikis are okay. I don't know. But I agree, the argument starts getting weird and murky. I do agree, though, Moto. Well, then all the cheese is acceptable, and technically the glitches if they didn't take the glitch into consideration when they know people will do whatever they can to exploit whatever people can find. That's where I think I do have an argument. Because there are unintended code interactions where the developers code the game, but it doesn't quite interact the way they intended. Such as like when the game came out and arcane scaling wasn't working. They had to fix that. But then it also gets weird. Like, I agree. Like, the intended argument is very murky. The only way you'd really know is if you could communicate with the developers and ask them specifically how they intended the game to work. Yeah, it is. It is a lot of gray area. That was really dumb of me. Fire giant dag. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree, and it does get murky because it's like a good example. I would say the best example in my current run is Grail. Thank you, Mark Clark. I killed Grail by using a bleed weapon and doing the whole chop at her leg thing while she lays there. Now, the question is I think there is a genuine argument. Is that intended? Did the developers intend for you to do that? And it kind of gets into this weird place of, like, they probably didn't. They probably expected you to come the long way, fight all the little dragons, and then eventually kill Grail for the big reward. But it's so easy to do it the other way, where you wonder, like, they had to have known that you were able to just go up the back way and do this. So then, yeah, that's definitely a place where there's a lot of gray area of intention, in my opinion, is Grail. But then it's like you look at the dragon in Dark Souls, the dragon in Demon Souls, the a dragon in 2, a wyvern in 3, and it's like, yeah, they're all easily cheesable. Like, they all have an easy gimmick way to kill them. And I'm like running out the clock talking when I should be doing this. Okay, so we're leveling up. And we're going to talk to Melina. This is when I should be talking to you guys.
This world and death are you to commit? Tell me.
Yeah, Grail gets weird. And I hit the wrong button. Yeah, that one's super weird. I'm ready. But I do think we can agree that jumping off a mountain and dying within the radius of a stake of America so you can warp to Radahn's fight early is unintended. I think we can all agree that that one's unintended. I think the opening chests in a way where you fall off the lid and you can skip the animation is unintended. I don't think the developers intended that jank to be in the game. And there's a lot of ledge jumping that he does. That is, you don't even land properly in that area long enough to be there. Yeah, to respawn and stay exactly. Yeah, the lid is a glitch. And there was something else he did that I felt was like clearly unintended. Oh yeah, the ledge jumping when they're in the capital and they're doing the skip to get to Golden Godfrey early, so that they don't have to go through Avenue Balcony. They do this weird ledge jump where they jump and punch and they land on these little teeny ledges to cross an area where there's no bridge. And they also do it to drop from Eastern Castle Rampart. And I think those are unintended. And those, oh shit. Shit. He did like the short roll off. Oh shit. There goes like a minute and a half. Yeah, and the other thing is that the developers actually went back and made all of those ledges smaller so they couldn't do it. And people still figured out how to do it anyway. So it's like the developers even tried to kind of curb it, and then it just, no. Yeah, Mark Clark, that was a good minute and a half there. Maybe less. Maybe about a minute. I'm probably right, about a minute and a half. Sucks I do the new route pretty well, and then I love up a simple jump. Yeah, yeah. I just think there's a few other ones that it just might be difficult. Because, like, the Stake America in Radon trick, the reason that works the way it does is because the Stake America for Radon activates once the fight is available. And what probably they realize is if they shrink that Stake of America so you can't do the exploit anymore, then people who are actually fairly fighting Radon will have part of the arena not count for the Stake of America. And when they die, they get screwed out of the Stake of America. So they're like, you know what? For the sake of just making sure everybody has their fair Stake of America, we're leaving it in the game. But it's still an unintended consequence of how they built the game. They also shrank a ledge in Mount Gelmir. Might as well. I didn't even put on the fire talisman thing. Oh shit. Not good. Oh my goodness, I didn't even make them. Time waste. That was a big time waste. Not a big. Like 20 seconds or something. 30 seconds. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit of a problem, but we'll make it work. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Totally flubbed up Godskin duo. Oh my god. Whew. Now you're either updating the game just for the speedrunners or conceding that speedrunning is not what the game is about. Interesting. Let me sit and think on this. Yeah, no, that was, whew, that was, whew. that was a rough one. Backup strats, safety strats. I'm still thinking about that comment, Moto. Oh no, you're good. You're good. I might be able to scroll back through it once we're through it, once we're over, or we can talk about it, or if you remember what you were saying, because I'm definitely thinking about the last thing that you said, and wait, I should upgrade and then come back. A lot of speed running the exploits and redundant things stupid. But if someone figured out how to jump on small ledges, Oh, it does not hurt the non-speedrunner at all. Like, no, it doesn't hurt the non-speedrunner at all. I think, well, I also think it hurts the viewer. Like, there's arguments for that. Like, a great example is if you watch a speedrun from like 10 years ago of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, there's excitement, there's drama, there's like, you know, these great moments, these great fights, these great encounters, these great tricks. You watch a speedrun now of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and it has been optimized so hard that it's just not fun to watch, even as a spectator. It's just not entertaining because it's over in like a handful of minutes and you don't even really know what's happening in the game. So it's like, it's just not very entertaining. So that's more or less what I think, is it's like,
Distant death.
man, I got wrecked. I'm getting caught on stuff. That was kind of cool. I need to stop going for that rolling. This weapon's a little bit slower than I'm used to. Not really giving me good patterns. Okay. That was bootleg. He's being a little wily. No! Yeah, bomb jumping, bomb jumping, bomb jumping. Yeah, Ripperoni. Ripperoni pickles. He was being a little bit difficult. Oh, yeah. No, I agree. I agree there. I'm not speaking specifically of this run, per se. I jumped it. Flubbed up the back out roll. I'm getting the other timing a little bit better. Go. Supposed to be entertaining. It's meant to be entertaining. That's a plus, but also making someone go the route instead of jumping past bridges may infinitely more entertaining. And then again, you're updating that out wide and knowing speedrunning is a thing. Either you're debuffing the speedrunner and not the regular guy, or kind of saying the game isn't intended for that. Like, I'm formulating my thoughts, and I think after I'm done, I'll be able to have a bit more of a concise response. Because I think either way, how I feel about this does not affect the average gamer whatsoever. It's definitely more personal. And it's something that it's just like, I think it's just a thing where when I go to YouTube and I want to see quick runs of games, like a quick run through a video game, it's typically polluted with glitches and exploits in order to make the run faster or quote unquote more optimal. Whereas it's hard for me to find playthroughs. You either get the long playthrough where it's the guy who sits around and looks at literally every object in the game, reads every item description. It's like a 300-hour video for Elden Ring, or it's a 54-minute video for Elden Ring. You don't have a lot of like 4 to 6 hour videos of Elden Ring. Do I have anything to help me with this? No. Let's just go for it. Let's just... Whoop.
I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. Your spirit, but alas, none shall take the throne. Queen Marika has high hopes for us, but we continue on to eternity. In my bones.
Gideon down.
Tarnished cannot become a lord. Not even you. A man cannot kill a god.
Thank you. Thank you. I did a little bit of practice. And it's like if you watch like any percent glitches allowed run of Elden Ring, you don't even see most of the game. They just like warp to the end of the game and that's it. 1 second, level up. I commend that, but going back to what I was saying, I just think the majority of what people are doing in speedruns are not intended, as aware as FromSoft may be about the speedruns. Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. Is like, well, in what aspect? Like, I'll ask this: like, okay, they know you need to kill 2 demigods to get into the capital. They know that Radahn is a demigod. They know that Godric is a demigod. There's your gate into the capital. They know where the 10 somber smithing stones you need to upgrade your weapon are located. They know where those are located. They know where the Bloodhound Fang is. They know the boss that guards the Bloodhound Fang. They know Grail can be snuck up on. They know Grail gives out 75,000 runes. They knew all of this going before the game even came out. Whoop, that was my first mistake. Nice, Tron. Oh. Oh, man.
Tarnished. Thy strength befits a crown.
Shouldn't have healed. Okay. There was a prediction, but it ran out. It was whether I could beat it in under 240. thought it was gonna be the other one. Damn, 3 rings. Well, it's not that it's specifically thought about, but the ability to get said items that are necessary are placed in an intended place. And there we go. 229.27 for the RTA. But it's they know the steps you need in order to get to the end finish line. Like, if they wanted there to be more steps to get into the capital, they could have said you needed 3 demigod runes. Thank you, Tron. You need 3 demigod runes, or they could have said you needed this key, or they could have put the Dectus medallions, because you need the Dectus medallions to get to the elevator to go up there. But they put a teleporter that's right near Fort Feroth. Kenneth Height is where the other Dectus medallion is, and that's in Limgrave. They know where those 2 things are to get you into the capital. And if you don't do that, you can always fight Magma Worm Makar. And then they know you need to do that in order to get to Altus Plateau. Altus Plateau triggers Radahn's Festival. So then you get to Altus Plateau. They know Radahn's Festival is available. Yeah, Demigod, does that mean you need Demi more? Nice, Tron. That's another good one. But yeah, and then the weapon upgrade materials, the 5th is in Caelid, 1 through 4 is sold at EG. Thank you, Moto. Obviously, I'm sure that they don't necessarily think, oh, they're going to beat it in under an hour. But I'm sure they know that it's all we have to do is kill Godric, kill Radahn, level up 1 weapon, and that gets us to the end of the game. And they've been making these games long enough that they know that's what happens. Like with the Dark Souls 3 is a great example where you can max your weapon out if all you do is kill Dancer of the Boreal Valley early. They know, like, there's an explicit speedrun advantage in Dark Souls 3 to killing the Dancer of the Boreal Valley early. You get all the Titanite chunks you need. You don't have to kill any enemies. All you have to do is, from the very beginning of the game, run to the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, instigate the boss fight, and if you can beat Dancer of the Boreal Valley early, you have access up to the Upper Lothric area, which gives you all the Titanite chunks you need to max it out. And it's not an exploit. The game was built that way. It was built with that intended, that you could get past the Dancer and level up your weapon early to speed run the game. Like it's not an exploit. It was there intended. So like that's where this gets interesting, is like I think the route of getting to Altus Plateau, killing Radahn, killing Godric, and maxing out a somber weapon is entirely intended. And then where I think what you get lost on, well, not you, I mean, like us as a community, what we get lost on is we get lost on the, now we want to do it even faster. So we start bringing in these other things like jumping off the cliff into the Radahn fight to skip like 3 minutes of torrent writing. We save and quit at everything. Again, why take the little jumping on ledges thing out then? What is FromSoft admitting to? Who cares about the speedrunners trying to skip that? They must in some way. Because it to them, I agree, because to them, they must think that isn't intended. That is not intended. And if you watch the video, I can pull it up. When you watch them do that strat, you're like, dude, this is not supposed to be how the game works. You can just tell by looking at it that it's not how the game is supposed to work. But the way that they code their game, where all geometry has collision, it just works that way. It's just a weird coding instance. And like the Stake America at Radahn, for one, the festival has to be activated in order for you to do the skip, which means you have to activate the festival in order for the Stake of America to show up down there. And that basically it encompasses the entire boss arena, so that no matter where you die while fighting Radahn, you go back to the Stake of America. And it just so happens that from up there, you can jump into the Stake of America. And it's weird. It shouldn't work that way, but I have a feeling that that's what it's all about. Did I spill something on myself? I don't know. Also use torrent hit specific. Not go the long way up the mountain. Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying, Moto. And that's where I think we need a third category. More or less, that's what I'm saying. Because you have, so you have the speed run, like any percent speed run. Well, yeah, because that's what I'm saying is we need a new category. Because nobody thought this would happen. Yes. But interesting. Nobody thought it was going to happen. Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, what I think overall in games, what we need to do is start having another category, because you have the any percent category, which just means you're beating the game as fast as possible. Then you have the any percent glitchless, which means you're not using glitches and you're playing through the game as fast as possible. And I think what we need is, on top of glitchless, we almost need like a no exploits speed run category as well, where those little optimizations like save and quit for in-game timer, and honestly that's more a product of, I think, the game running on an in-game timer. It's a weird mixed bag. Okay, I'm gonna get distracted for a little bit, but part of the thing is, the reason they use real time is to account for hardware. My load times might not be the same as your load times, might not be the same as Jimmy's load times, might not be the same as Tron's load times, might not be the same as Dark Souls on Top's load times. So I get the in-game timer thing, because you're eliminating that variable. Everybody is running on an in-game timer. That way, no matter what your load is, you're not getting screwed on your speed run. Everybody, no matter your hardware, can participate in the speed run. I get that. But what ends up happening is because that is a rule, because that is a thing, and this happens with all games that use in-game clocks, is players find a way to exploit the clock. And that is one thing that's happened to Elden Ring, Dark Souls. It's just you activate the grace, you quit out, your clock stops. You load back in, you don't have to watch the animation, and your clock starts back up again. So you're saving yourself like a second or two on every grace, like 3 to 5 seconds on every door. And I think what we need to do is get to a third category where it's just like you boot up the game, you start the game, and you finish the game. No glitches, no exploits. And you're not save and quitting. Like the game doesn't close. You're just playing through the game straight. Is more or less what I'm saying. Is I think there needs to be another category. Otherwise, you get to the point of like, you look at any Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time speed run, no matter what the category is, and it has been optimized to where it's just not, it's like you're not even watching the game. You're just like, there's one speed run where they're literally spawning in Star Fox's spaceship and it's flying through the game because it's in the code and it's on the cartridge. So it's like people are just like using whatever exploit is on the cartridge. And they kind of did that in earlier games too. You could go through Hell in the Tombs and get great items early. Yeah. So it's like, I think to some degree there is some intention with these games when it comes to quick runs. Yeah, like the other category. But I'm also just saying what the game intended is also a very gray area. I think gravity is cheesy, don't get me wrong, but again, what else you doing in a game to exploit the game? I think Grail is the only gray area. Ironically, Grail. Me personally, the run I just did, I think Grail is the only gray area. And then if I eliminate Grail, I think I have eliminated all gray area and I am playing the game as it's intended. I don't think the developers could say, no, you're doing something that you're not supposed to do. I think at least. And I'm not trying to impose on anybody else. That's the other thing, is this is a me thing. This isn't like anybody else thing. It's not like I'm saying, oh, you any percent glitchless speedrunners need to change your rules. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's like, I think we need another category. That kind of preserves the game. Like you at least get to watch a Margit fight. You get to watch a Godric fight. You get to watch a Radon fight. You get to watch travel. A viewer can replicate all the things I did. They don't have to worry about having like super quick save and quit skills or knowing how to do these jump cheeses or knowing how to do the setup for Draconic Tree Sentinel cheese. Like they don't need to know any of that. You go here, you get this weapon. You go here, you get these items, and you run through the game. I don't know. But Grail, I think is definitely a gray area. Let's see what the in-game timer is. $2:20:30. It was like 2:20:30. So let me write that down. That's the new best time. That is the new best time. And no, it's not Stellar Blade, Mr. Pickles. But we are going to be getting down on some Space Marine.